What's good? I was actually talking and I didn't even have my live cam on my phone. I'm driving right now as I'm live. I wouldn't recommend people to do this. I tend to do kind of dangerous things sometimes. But usually I would do my predictions before the games and I didn't. Right now we're like a few minutes into the game right now. They're between the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The game is tied. The last time I checked, it was 0-0. These two teams, they always play very, very well against each other. And, Buccaneers and the NFC South as a whole always plays well against each other. They always do. And Tampa Bay, they started off really, really hot. Now they're kind of a little bit on the slump. Same for Atlanta. Atlanta, like I've been saying kind of like since week 3 that Atlanta has the personnel to really go deep, and they've always have. It's just they never really lived up to the hype of who they really are. I mean, who they're the players. So it's very unfortunate about what's going on with the Atlanta Falcons. I think Atlanta Falcons are a huge disappointment, and and then it's like what's going on with Bijan Robinson? You know what I'm saying? And it's because it's like, and it's not even Bijan Robinson. I think it's just more about the Falcons, as a whole. Bijan, he was looking really, really well, looking really, really good earlier this year. He was looking like the best back in the league, and now he just kind of just fell off. And so I mean, and that happens when I guess when you say like the offense as a whole is just not playing, like it's just not that good. And Bijan Robinson, he's not like an Adrian Peterson or a Derrick Henry where he can just continue to keep just carrying a team, with the no name quarterback. But he's a really great running back. I really do think Bijan is a really great running back, and I think from in the foreseeable future he will be like a top 3 running back, if not already. But the point I'm making is that the Atlanta Falcons are very, very underwhelming right now, and they they are. I will even go to the extreme of saying that they are a better team than what their record is. So I know that probably kind of sounds probably a little contradicting, but and I've said this before many times before that I felt like the Atlanta Falcons are like they. I felt when I early this year I was talking about how I felt like the Falcons could go really deep into the playoffs and probably even make a run to the Super Bowl because I felt that the Falcons can. They're built like they have the personnel and they're built to really beat anybody. They were at first, but they're not playing like it, and their record definitely doesn't show it. But they have the personnel. I mean, they have a defensive minded head coach. They got great offensive players around them, and you would think that their record will be a lot better. And and it really sucks for Raheem Morris. And the media doesn't talk about this enough, but I like Raheem Morris. I've seen him. I remember watching him play as a player. I grew up watching him play, and I always thought he was a really solid player. But I mean, I don't know. Like his coaching isn't really. I don't know. Somebody correct me. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just think his coaching has been. I think he has been underperforming as a coach right now. I really do. When you have a very talented team like the Atlanta Falcons, I just like I don't know, man. Like you that you should that record that the record of the Atlanta Falcons should be a lot better than what it is right now. It really should, and it's not. It's not. And like I said, I usually do these predictions before the video, maybe before the videos, before the games, and I didn't, but I think the Atlanta I think the Atlanta Falcons, man, are going to lose this game, and I think the Buccaneers, even though the Buccaneers are not even playing well, they're not really, they're underperforming too. I mean, Tampa Bay, they were really great this year. I mean, they were really great this year, just like Atlanta, and they kind of fell off. I mean, at least Atlanta has an excuse. Atlanta has a quarterback excuse. What's Tampa Bay's excuse? And to be honest with you, like the coaches of the Buccaneers and the Falcons, they kind of remind me of each other. To be honest with you, they're both defensive minded head coaches, and and their teams are kind of slightly built around the same. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, and that's why the Falcons and the Buccaneers play against, it's always competitive. Always. Like, I think the last time I checked the score, it was like 0-0. And we were like halfway through the first quarter. I don't know what the score is right now. But, but that's how it's always like. And sometimes, like, even when they play the Saints, it's always competitive when even the Saints gets in there. But the Saints, they're not like, I don't think they're not built like the Buccaneers and the Falcons, though. But maybe, hopefully next year, man, the Falcons can can be a bit better, more consistently, you know? And hopefully Michael Penix Jr. I don't think he's playing tonight. I think he's been out. I think he's out for the season. I didn't do my research and check that, but I think he's out for the season. I think Kirk Cousins is quarterbacking for the Falcons right now. But yeah, man. I hopefully next year the Falcons, because I would like, because I really like Bijan Robinson. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't really that big on him coming out of college. I didn't think his skills was going to transition from college, you know what I'm saying, to the pros. I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't think so. But as I kept watching Bijan, I was just like, yo, this dude is freaking great. And he reminds me a lot of Shady McCoy. Like, he reminds me a lot of LaShawn McCoy, like, back in the running back. I think he's an all-star. I think he's an all-time Eagles leading rusher, LaShawn McCoy. Yeah, I think he is. But Bijan Robinson reminds me a lot of Shady McCoy. Like, how he is in open space, and in that, his ability to really, like, just make guys miss in open space without even trying that hard. Like, that is like talent on a whole nother level, from Bijan. And that's how Shady McCoy was. That's literally how LaShawn McCoy was, man. I mean, he's literally like a modern day LaShawn McCoy. But it's unfortunate that, he's not getting, his team is not performing well. And it's not all Bijan. I don't think Bijan Robinson is the type of guy that can really just carry a team to the playoffs like a Derrick Henry or Adrian Peterson, with a no-name quarterback, and everybody on the defense knows you're getting the ball. Bijan Robinson isn't that guy, but he is a great back, man, and he can do everything. He can do everything well, very well. Bijan can. It's just unfortunate, like I said, the Falcons are just not good. And they got my boy Drake London over there, you know what I'm saying? Y'all already know I'm gonna always represent my USC greats. Drake London, he's a really, really good wide receiver. But I don't know, man. It's unfortunate about the Falcons right now. And I'm going to pick them to lose this game. They're eventually going to get eliminated permanently from the playoff competition. A lot of teams in Week 15 are going to get eliminated from the playoff competition this week. A lot of teams, and a few teams are going to book their playoff berth. And, so I'm going to go ahead and give y'all my prediction. And I'm going to come back tonight after the game and get a recap. We're going to talk a little bit more about it. Please, y'all, chime in. Let me know what y'all think and stuff and everything, about the game and all that, And tonight, I'm also going to do my predictions for all of Week 15. I'm just going to do my predictions for all for Week 15. So I'll do a recap and then all my predictions for Week 15. But before I get out of here, because I'm going to come back on in the next few hours, before I get out of here, I'll give you all my predictions. Right now, I'm going to say that the Buccaneers are going to beat the Falcons. And I'm going to say they're going to beat them maybe like, I'm going to say 24-19. I'm going to say Bucks 24, Falcons 19. That's my prediction. And we're going to see how close I am. We're going to see how accurate I am with this. And y'all let me know what y'all think, man. I know the game is on right now, but last time I checked, it was only 0-0. So, well, so it doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, let me know what y'all think, man. Give me your predictions, and I'll talk about it. We'll talk about the stats, the players, whatever, storylines, whatever that went down tonight. All right. I thank you all so much for watching, man. I thank you all for the love, and we just gonna keep it going. We're gonna be consistent here. Every single primetime game. And before every game, I'm gonna get my predictions, and I'm gonna work on putting out more content. I have, like I said, I have 2 YouTube channels that I'm running, and I'm building some businesses and stuff. So I'm building systems for me to be more consistent with everything. So and me going live, it really does help. It helps out a lot. So I probably, every single time when I do a video on here, it'll probably just be live, to be honest with you. it probably would just be live. So yeah, because I think it's better for interaction, and you all can see me just talking from the top of my head really on some of these games. And I'm gonna be honest, past couple months I haven't really been watching the games. I'm in school to be a chiropractor, so so I have like it's a lot of studying, a lot of stuff that I have to do, But I mean, I played the game, and I have friends in the NFL, so like I know the game. So, I'm just pretty much all the stuff I'm talking about is just pretty much from my own knowledge of just playing it. But yeah, all right, I'm rambling. So we're gonna be back very soon. Thank you all. Thank you all for the love, and peace out all day.